Gary Parrish here with Oregon head coach Dana Altman. Year 16 at Oregon, and I gather already today you have addressed retirement rumors. I guess that's just something you have to do every few months?
I guess as you get older, everybody assumes that you're going to give it up. But I've been fortunate, Gary, starting 16 years here at Oregon. I had 16 years at Creighton, Kansas State for 7 years, 3 with Coach Kruger. So been really fortunate, and so hopefully Oregon wants to keep me for a while yet, but I enjoy coaching. I enjoy the fellas. Games are torture, but the practices are a lot of fun.
I guess, the age is part of it. For people who don't know, you are 67 years old, and we did just watch somebody similarly aged walk away from the sport in recent weeks, and we've seen Jay Wright retire in recent years, Tony Bennett retire in recent years, but you're still recruiting at a high level. You got a big commitment recently. That should suggest you don't have any plans on hanging up anytime soon. But I heard your comments from earlier. You still enjoy doing what you're doing, and as long as you're healthy enough to do it, you plan to keep doing it.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And I got a great staff, Gary, and that's so important. Tony Stubblefield is back with us, and Tony's really good. Kevin McKenna's been with me forever. Brian Fish, Josh Jameson. When guys, you have that consistency with your staff, and we've been able to get really good players. That's always the most important thing. You have a chance. And so been really fortunate, and Oregon's a great place to work, great place to coach, and so hopefully we got a few years left.
Obviously, it comes up in press conferences, evidence being today. Does it come up in recruiting? And if so, how do you handle it?
It does.
Yeah.
And I tell them I've got years on my contract yet, and I'd like to coach. But again, everything is different these days. Guys don't plan on coming and staying for 4 to 5 years like they used to. If things don't work out great and they're not one and dones or two and dones to the NBA, they're probably leaving anyway. So it hasn't been quite as big a factor as it was, say at Creighton when I had 4 and 5 year guys, and Nate Biddle's in his 5th year, Jackson Shelstad's in his 3rd, KJ Evans in his 3rd. So you still like those guys who've been around for a long time.
Obviously, things have changed. Has your approach to recruiting changed at all? You have to live in the transfer portal some. You have to retain your players. That's more important than ever and more necessary than ever. But you're still recruiting high schools as well at a time where some coaches have backed off. Have you figured out the recipe?
I haven't.
Okay.
I think anybody who tells you they have, I keep talking to our coaches. We just got to find guys that love ball.
Right.
If they have 1 or 2 years and they love ball, we want to work with them. If they're a high school player and they love ball and want to develop, we want to work with them. But I think you got to find guys that really love ball. Our good teams, there was never a question. Peyton Pritchard loved ball. Dylan Brooks loved ball. We've had some guys that just love the game. And I think that's where it all starts. And if it's for 1 or 2 years, if it's for 3 or 4, I really don't care as long as the time they're there. They want to be at Oregon, and they love the game.
You mentioned Dylan Brooks. He's turned into a character in the NBA. Did you see those parts of him when he was with you at Oregon?
Dylan's a great competitor.
Right.
I'd take him back in a minute.
Right.
I know, he's out there a little bit, but you never question his love for the game.
Right.
And you never question his competitiveness. We'd have never gone to the Final Four without his drive, his demands that he put on his teammates, his competitiveness. He's one of those guys you love to have on your team.
Right.
The opponents don't like him, but you love to have him on your team. And I still feel that way. I love the guy. Like I said, we went to Elite Eight, a Final Four, and his competitiveness really gave us an edge.
Well, as you know, I live in Memphis. We had him there for a while, and they obviously moved on from him. But the truth is they haven't been the same since he left. They lost something when they lost him.
Gary, I'm just telling you, you want him on your team.
Yeah.
And the first thing is he'll bring it every day to practice. He loves the game. He's always in the gym, game nights. And I know he can get overboard. He did a few times for us.
Right.
But he always brought it back, and that competitiveness always gave us an edge.
You mentioned Nate Biddle. Obviously had a great bounce-back season last season, 14 points, a little more than 7 rebounds per contest. What's the next step for him?
I hope he just keeps getting better, extend his range a little bit. He's worked hard on his body to be a little bit more durable, play a few more minutes. But no, he, fought back from injury, and you always like to see that in a player. Everybody's good when times are good. You want to see if guys will fight back, when things aren't going well. He really prepared himself 2 years ago and then broke his wrist and missed the season. But I thought the injury may have done, he sat there and he realized how much he loved the game,
right.
And he missed it. And so I thought he came back with more focus last year, did a tremendous job for us, and, we're hoping he'll take another step.
His teammate, Jackson Shelstad, rough news recently. Just how much does that set you back? He's going to be sidelined now for, it appears, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, he'll probably be out 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll hurt Jackson as much as it'll hurt our team because,
right.
Just the development of our team with a lot of new guys. It's great to have a point guard who knows the stuff, can get 2 wings that haven't played much with this, or a big guy who hasn't played much with this, kind of give them direction. So I think it'll slow our team's development down more than it'll hurt Jackson. Jackson's in great shape. He'll keep himself in great shape. It is his right hand, so he won't be able to shoot much, but I just don't think it'll hurt him much. I think when he comes back, he'll be ready to go right away, but it will slow our team down some.
And with just the way the schedule unfolds now, it's different than it used to be. You've got the Players Era Festival. Obviously, that's stacked competition. And then I believe you start Big Ten play in December. So maybe in a different era of basketball, you'd be like, we could get him back by January conference play, but now it's December conference play.
Well, and the NCAA, Gary, it seems to look at those non-conference games so hard that they really put an emphasis on November, and who you're playing and how those games come out. And, we've got Auburn, San Diego State, Gonzaga early. We got to go to UCLA. So, November and December are going to be really important for us, and we're going to need to get Jackson back.
That last thing before I get you out of here, obviously when healthy, you've got a team that most people think's preseason top 20-ish. You're not going to start healthy, but you should eventually get there. How good can this team be when the players who are supposed to be on the court are actually out there?
Well, I like our depth inside,
right.
With Nate and KJ back, and then we added Sean Stewart from Ohio State and Ezekiel Demir from Turkey. So I like our inside game. I think we got great depth there. Jackson gives us experience at the guard spot. We brought a young man in from Elon, TK Simpkins, who I think can add something, a talent from Texas, Dev Pryor, that I think can give us something. Jamari Phillips, a freshman for us, is very talented. He's got to step up a little bit and play for us. But, I think we've got enough guys and enough depth that, we can play through a few injuries, play through a long season. We still have the longest collegiate season of any sport.
Yes.
We start practice late September and you go till hopefully April. Got a full 6 months. So you got to stay healthy. You got to stay enthusiastic about the game. But I like our guys, and I think we have a chance to have a solid team. If we continue to work and play together, I think we can be pretty good. So we'll see, but being healthy is a big part of it. Getting those older guys to lead and play through adversity will be a big part of it. And then always winning close games. There's so many one-possession, two-possession games in college basketball that you got to get big defensive stops. You got to have some offensive possessions down the stretch that are really good to win a lot of close games.
Dana, it's always good to see you.
Thanks, Gary.
Appreciate your time.